Hi, could you please introduce yourself to some of the voters watching at home?
Absolutely. My name is Peter DiCianni. I'm a candidate for DuPage County Chairman. I'm a businessman, I'm a father, former nonprofit leader and mayor, and now county board member for the last 10 years. I'm running for chairman of DuPage County to bring leadership, experience, and passion that I've brought to every office that I've held. And I think it's important that we have somebody with experience that can make a difference for our county. We have the second largest county in Illinois, and a population larger than 7 states, nearly $500 million budget. So we need somebody with business experience, government experience, and also somebody who's a humanitarian. And I think I fit that role pretty well.
Yeah, that's great. How have you been involved in this DuPage community thus far, and how have these experiences prepared you for serving farther on the county board?
First of all, I'm a lifelong resident of DuPage County. I moved here when I was 9 years old. Grade school, high school, and college, Elmhurst University, York High School, ran for Joe Newton, 4 state titles, 4 national titles in track and cross country. And I took those experiences to another level, opened up my printing company out of my parents' garage, gave back as a nonprofit leader running DuPage County's largest children's charity called ECAF, helping kids with life-threatening and disabling conditions. And then when my daughter was diagnosed with autism in my 10th year running that charity, I wrote Brianna's Law. And Brianna's Law insured every kid in Illinois with autism. And to me, that was a huge feat because it's the #1 children's condition affecting our country today. Ran for mayor the very next year. I solved a huge budget crisis and 3 natural disasters, led 3 FEMA events, which was not easy. And I ran for the county board to solve a lot of those flooding problems and also be a humanitarian at the county board, because the county board does a lot of humanitarian type work. We help a lot of people with mental illness, people with disabilities, seniors, veterans. So I think what I've seen in my life experiences, giving back as a nonprofit leader, seeing people dealing with suffering, and bringing those leadership skills to the county board is what I bring to the table.
Yeah, that's great. Can I ask, what is one challenge that the county faces, and how do you plan to address it?
Well, crime is a big issue, as we all know. Many of us remember the Oak Brook situation on Christmas Eve. I was at the mall with the mayor, with the chief, with all the first responders, making sure that effort of law enforcement was done without a hitch. That was at the bequest of the mayor, who was a dear friend. Oak Brook is one of my pillar communities that I represent. And having served in crisis at many levels, I was proud to be there, making sure every county resource was deployed. And I think the message I sent that night, which was on national news, was a strong message. We don't tolerate crime in DuPage County. A lot of our crime, 50% of it, especially our violent crime, is coming from Cook County. That's a problem. So as county chairman, I will add more police officers. We cut almost 10% of our law enforcement headcount since I've been on the board. I voted no for all 3 votes on those issues. I will restore those headcounts to safe levels so we can be on the offense. When I was mayor, I actually deployed police officers in the city of Chicago to watch drug dealers go down and actually be on the offense instead of being on defense. As county chairman, I'll do the same thing.
Gotcha. How exactly does the deployment of police officers work? Can you just could you explain that for a little bit, please?
Sure. Well, typically you're working with task force.
Yeah.
So I was, a lot of my family is in law enforcement. So I have cousins at the Chicago Police Department. I have 3 cousins that are police officers there. I have 2 federal agents that are cousins, both FBI and DEA. And I was fortunate when I was mayor, I had a lot of those folks still in Chicago. And I was able to utilize their task force to deploy our folks with their people, and making sure that the drugs and all the heroin, the opioids, was not coming into DuPage County. As soon as it would come to our border, we'd stop that and make arrests and send a strong message that we're not going to put our kids in harm's way. And that's how you deal with policing. You have to have boots on the ground, and you have to be on the offense. If you're just dealing with defense, it's a whole other challenge, and DuPage County needs to get back on the offense. And again, as mayor, I did that. I know how to do it, and we kept Elmhurst safe. Also using technology, I put license plate readers on many of our intersections in Elmhurst, so we knew the bad guys coming in, and we could try to head off a challenge before it became a challenge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some long-term goals for serving on the county board, and how do you plan on accomplishing them?
Long-term goals, and I had to deal with this as mayor of Elmhurst. We lost our credit rating in 2016. Fitch downgraded DuPage County from a AAA to a AA. One of my goals as chairman will be to restore that credit rating. Why is that important? Because that determines how we can borrow, and credit rating affects interest rates, etc. So it's important that we get ourselves back to that AAA standard. How do we do that? We need to create new revenue sources outside of just property taxes. And as mayor, I had $1 billion in economic development. I rebuilt one of the largest hospitals here in DuPage County, offering over 4,000 jobs. That's Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare. And I brought the first Marianos to DuPage County, and then brought multiple Marianos. So I'm a business guy by trade. I'm an entrepreneur. That's how I was trained by my father, a business teacher at St. Joe's. So I will use those same techniques to work with our fellow mayors, encourage them and teach them how to do economic development. Many of our mayors are lawyers, they're dentists, they're good people. They just don't understand business and how to attract business. So I look forward, and that's why I have over 30 mayors and municipal members, leaders endorsing my candidacy, because they know that a mayor would be a great person to advocate for the county, and I look forward to being that mayor.
And just to wrap it up, is there anything else you'd like to cover that you didn't get a chance to previously say?
I would just like, I think service is important, and instead of just talking about myself, I want to kind of encourage you guys, because I wasn't really a government guy in school. I was an athlete. I was a business guy. I was an entrepreneur. I learned a trade, which ended up being my career, and but life changes in life, so I ended up meeting my wife in government class in college, a nursing major. I was a business major, and we're both like, why are we taking these classes? And who would have thought that my goal at that time was to get out of school, make money, meet her, have kids, and life changes. You end up that business mindset went to philanthropy and public service. Again, not wanting to get into government, but then all of a sudden you see opportunities, you see challenges, and you see folks that maybe aren't stepping up. And that's when I really said, hey, it's time to start changing laws, it's time to start changing policies. We can't fundraise ourselves out of autism. This is a 1 in 44 situation, and it's a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year burden on families, which is causing bankruptcies and undue burden. And again, solving problems and running for office and making policy changes, bracelets on kids that wander, Alzheimer's people that wander. I wrote that law, James's law. It's law in 50 states today. Brianna's law is law in 50 states today. So those are the things I think that inspire me to want to do this. And I look upon you guys as the future and say, hey, no matter where you think you're at in life, things may open up. Follow your heart. And service is a great thing, whether it's nonprofit, which I think is terrific, whether it's government, whatever it might be, whether it's just taking care of your family, just be the best you can be, and stepping up and giving back, I think, is important. So follow your heart.
That's great. We wish you the best, Mr. DiCianni. Thank you for your time.
My
today.
pleasure. You got it.